Okay, I'm ready.
Hi everybody. So we have the very beginnings of our fall time inspiration today. So I hope everybody's excited for that. I'm extremely excited for fall because it's one of my favorite seasons. I prefer the cooler weather personally. I know everybody loves summer. I still love summer, but I just really like dressing in fall and winter clothing. It's my favorite. And I'm super excited because I also just bought a leather jacket. I got a really good deal on it. And like authentic, genuine leather, really well made. And I'm excited to be able to wear it because I can't wear it yet. It's a little too hot for that stuff. So, lots of fall inspiration. We're gonna do a lot of really fun projects today. So I have a few that I'm super excited to show you. Hi Candy, hi Christine. And lots of beading for the fall season. So hopefully this inspires you guys for your upcoming seasons and fairs and everything as you prepare for that. And I'm excited to show you some of the cool techniques I did today that we're gonna do with wire. We're actually gonna make some of our own beads as well.
Do you want to tell them kind of what our focus is for this week as far as the vintage.com website with Back to Beading?
So Back to Beading, right? We want you guys to be able to really stock up on all of your amazing things that you need for the fall season. So what is the sale on?
Well, I figured what we do is when we get a few more people on, we'll bring up the graphic. Because it's really on everything. But we can go through what that is. But I thought maybe you could just talk about like gearing up for fall, like what Back to Beading means for you, like returning to some more simple techniques, that kind of thing, like a primer.
Yes. Yeah. And so everything in here is, for the most part, really easy. I would say that there's only one more technical project that we have today, but most of it's just going to be stringing on and doing some wire coils that are super fun and just a little bit of painting. Hi Peggy, hi Jeanette, hi Carlene, hi Chris, hi Cindy. But lots of that, lots of little painting. We're gonna reutilize pieces in unique ways, which I'm excited to show you that, because I wanted more pieces than what I had, and I wanted them to be small, and I was like, actually, I have the perfect piece for this. So you'll see that. You'll be like, I don't recognize those. You'll recognize it in a second. Hi Kayleen. Hi Carmen. So yeah, I'm super excited for that as well. So, should we bring up that graphic now?
Just hang on a second.
Okay. Guys, I have a yerba today. I'm going to be so much more peppy. You get the best version of myself when I have caffeine. Hi Terry, hi Kathy. Does anybody have any like exciting plans for the fall season? Anything exciting?
I'm going to turn on the air in here a little bit, I think.
That might be a good idea. Hi Deanne. What are you doing?
Turning on the AC.
Anybody have any fun plans for the fall?
Oh, Terry's asking you what it tastes like. Yerba.
Oh. Kind of like a sweet herbal tea. There's like I don't know what kind of tea it is, but there's a tea that they drink in China, and it kind of has like a similar taste to it. It's like an herbal tea drink that they have. But this one, and so sometimes it kind of depends on what one you get. This is Revelberry. This is kind of like the classic flavor, I feel like. But I would compare it to like an herbal tea with sugar in it. Is like probably the best comparison. Do you have any other comparisons, Mom? Like maybe like orange exuberance is a little bit like hot orange water but cold.
Yeah, less spicy.
Yeah, not spicy at all.
Oh,
It's kind of fruity, slightly fruity taste, but
just making sure we're up on both platforms.
Yeah, we
Looks
are.
like we've got a few people popping in the comments there. Welcome, everybody.
hi, Gloria. Did I say hi to you? I'm not sure. I've said hi a lot, so I'm kind of losing track at this point.
So,
Nobody has fun fall plans yet, apparently.
who was active on the chat this weekend? Because
Peggy did bring up the bacon comment.
Let's bring up the earrings and put them on and ask everybody if they still look like bacon. And I will zoom in. Are you gonna put them on your ears?
The funny bacon earrings. Okay, they're leaves, but I'll show you. You'll see in a second.
I made them, so you're not gonna offend me.
Yeah, I didn't even make them. Hi, Lynn.
Question of the day is, do they still look like bacon? I think some of it had to do with like the shadow and the way they were photographed with a really like super prominent shadow. But it's kind of funny.
Hi, Shelby. Yeah, but those are the bacon earrings.
Oh, Carlene said she'll be in Washington State visiting her son. That
Wow,
looks like
I'm jealous.
nice.
I really wanted to go to Washington for fall and do like apple orchard stuff, but I feel like I'm not going to have the time this year. Unless I do like a weekend trip, I guess.
Yeah,
I could
maybe.
do that. We should do a weekend trip to Washington because I want to eat apples and go to an apple festival. And we're close enough to do that, but we just still haven't done it. I've been suggesting it every year for years now.
Peggy is asking if they smell like bacon.
Let's see. Somehow they smell like metal.
Like copper in particular.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't mind me. I'm just adjusting the light because
I keep getting overexposed.
Ainsley's got this like super psychedelic glow going on today for whatever reason.
We don't know what that's about.
We're like, okay.
It's just I've been eating extremely healthy though, and so I've noticed that like everything's much more glowy on me. Like my face is more glowy, and my eyes have been really popping out even more than usual. So I feel like maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just radiating from the inside out, and the camera somehow is picking up on my subliminals.
It's like health just shining out of her pores, right? So what have you been doing to eat more healthy? What's your secret lately?
My secret diet, not so secret anymore. Basically what I do is during the week time, I focus on my protein intake, so I don't track calories or anything like that, but I always make sure I get 143 grams of protein every single day. So I track that and make sure I get that much protein. It's a lot of protein, but I also do exercise a lot. So I do that, and then everything else, I don't do any simple carbs, so no bread or rice or potatoes or anything. And this is strictly weekdays that I don't do that. And then I eat vegetables as well. So it's just mostly meat and vegetables. And then I will let myself drink like a Dr. Pepper though. And then
every once in a while.
And then on the weekends, I just eat normally. So
Yeah.
I will eat bread. I will eat everything. I ate a whole Jimmy John's sandwich on Saturday, and I was looking forward to it the entire week.
Except for the bees were chasing you around the park.
Yeah, they were chasing me around. But Yeah. So I eat pizza and everything on the weekends, and that's my keeps me mentally healthy. And I could not give pizza up or any really delicious food. But I was saying that if you eat like as clean as I do during the week, and then you eat something like pizza on the weekend, I ate pizza a lot, and we all eat pizza a lot. I feel like most people eat pizza pretty frequently. And people are like, oh, it's just pizza, whatever, it's still really good. But when you haven't eaten something like that for a minute, and then you take a bite of pizza, you're like, whoa, this is like a life-changing experience.
It's so good.
This tastes so good.
Oh, that's so funny. Not just any pizza, though,
actually,
right?
you know what I'm thinking sounds really good for when we make pizza next Sunday?
What?
Bacon pizza.
Ooh, bacon pizza. Inspired by our live today, right?
Yeah. Should we make bacon pizza? We'll drop it in the DIY with Vintage if we do.
Yes, and we can show some pictures of the pizza we make in the chat on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So we're working on getting a new community set up, I guess, because chats are going away. So more news to come on that. But I think we're ready. We can kind of get into what our sales are for this week and all of that jazz.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I need to add this one. I forgot to put one of the images in.
So
I got it. I got it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
on vintage.com, you guys, we are having a really great sale, which Ainsley is going to be explaining to you today, because you're probably going to want to stack up more than just the bundle today. You'll want to go there and purchase directly from the website, because it is buy more and save more this week. So just this week only, just until Saturday. Depending on what you spend, you're going to get a different discount. So this is going on at vintage.com, and it applies to everything, including the discounted bundles that we've got going on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so for that sale, it is 15% off when you spend $50, $20 when you spend $75, and 25% off when you spend $100.
Right.
So,
and anything in between those, yeah.
So spend $100 and you're going to be paying $75.
Right. And so if you, kind of the best way to get a deal is stack up your cart with bundles, and then get the additional discounts.
Yes.
And so that's like the pro tip.
And just a reminder that when you're doing your shopping, just go to vintage.com. Everything will be there, and you can go into the live tab under jewelry supplies, right? Is that what that's under? Is that what that menu item is called? Featured. Oh, yes. Featured under jewelry supplies.
Yeah. And then also, if you're looking at this live, there should be a link at the bottom that says shop now.
Did everybody see the new website?
Oh,
changes.
It's like, yes.
Did everybody see that?
Yeah.
They're working our butts off for that.
I know a couple people did, but we'll be promoting it more, and we'll probably do some Q&A sessions to show you how to shop everything now, because it's so well organized. There's filters. There's a lot of new really great features.
Yeah. And if there's anything glitchy, please just email us and let us know, because we are just still getting rid of any buggy kind of
Let's go to the split screen that has you 2/3, and then what you're doing today 1/3 at the bottom. And then I want you to go over kind of what the project techniques we're going to be doing today, or just show them what they will be.
You mean half and half?
2/3. You don't have that one set up?
No, I do. It's just you need to move the camera up.
That's fine.
Because it's just I have no eyebrows.
Well, you should be on. Yeah,
no,
on the top.
I'm on the top.
Yeah. Okay. It'll take a second to.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. So for today, we have all of our fall stuff, like I said earlier, fall inspiration.
The opposite 2/3.
What?
2/3 on the top, 1/3 on the bottom.
2/3 me mostly?
It's fine, just go half and half.
Okay. I have no idea what you're saying.
That's why I'm saying just go half and half. Don't need to worry about it right now. Yes, Wendy.
I don't know what she said.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't have anything preset besides those
Yeah.
two, so I don't know which. Anyway, this is our. Let me back up a little bit so you guys can see a little better. Sorry, my eyeball's itchy. I just get super irritated very easily by mascara. Unfortunately, I feel like they need to make mascara that's not eye irritating.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like some of that's just like if it's flaky. Anyway, let me focus.
Can you also put the footer on?
Yes. Alright, so we have all of our pieces for today. You'll notice, yes, lots of heavy beading here. We did these earrings here. These we made out of the wire, these cute little coils, and painted them. These are 16 gauge, and this is also 16 gauge. These are all beads that I made out of wire, and I will show you how to do that. So, and then we have our little charms that we have added to here. And those are all going to be in the bundle that we have today. And so we have the bees, we have this little cute woodland forest bunny, the squirrel, and these leaves, which are from this I think it's, what is this called? It starts with the W.
Like whimsical spray or
yeah,
something like
yeah.
like
I think
a
it's
floral
whimsical spray. I think. You're right. So this, we have this here, we have it here as well. These little pieces all come from this one large piece, so we get to cut this up and use it. And so yeah, love doing that. I always like using pieces in ways that we don't usually intend them to be used, but you can use them however you want to. This is 2 bead caps glued together to make a cool bead. So just a little pro tip, you can do that if you want to, if it's like doesn't have any openings like this. And then this we are going to make today. We use the bead cap and resin, and I will show you how to do that as well. Super fun project. We make a really cute acorn that's nice and glowy and handmade. I think that's fun. And then obviously we just add a whole lot of beading as well. So, and then we'll just go into that a little bit more here in a second. Anything else we need to go over?
No, I think that kind of shows what techniques we're going to do. And again, we thought it would be nice to get a primer into kind of some of the beading basics that we skip over, and then also some fun things to do with the tool feature today. Do you want to show them what that is? Maybe just put that on the bottom part of your screen and tell them what the unique features.
Which one is this one? The one, what millimeter? 3 and 5 millimeter? This is
basically, yeah, I can go to the website.
3 and 5 millimeter one. We have a few different sizes. So this is going to be the 3 millimeter side, and this will be the 5 millimeter. I ended up utilizing this 3 millimeter side. We're going to use it for all of our coils here. This is very, very thick wire, by the way. This wire that I used here and here is 16 gauge. So if you're wondering why that looks so thick and looks much thicker than this, is because it is a very thick wire. So if you want it to be less thick than that, then I would recommend using a less heavy gauge of wire, probably more like a 20 something gauge wire instead. So you can just keep that in mind, but that's why those beads, those 2 beads I made are as thick as they are. There's nothing to do with this size. Let me bring up this. I'm gonna get these up here for you guys real quickly. So here we have our metal shaping pliers. I have them as Cart 100. This is for Facebook only, or I did that same thing with Corians.
Yeah, it's because it's it has the live shop set up there. So, but the reason I left it that way this week
Can
is
they still
because-
use the cart numbers?
I'm not sure. We can try, but we really want to encourage them to go to the website this week because of the sale.
Yeah.
Because
So-
you want to get extra discounts.
Yeah.
So buy the bundle, buy the tool, add some other things to your cart so you can get even more money off.
Okay, yeah. So just go to the website, go to vintage.com. We're not going to use the Carter system. Just go there so you actually get your deals on the stuff.
But do add the bundle as well to this, because when they go and rewatch the video, those links are going to be right there on our website.
Okay, yeah. And then we have our fall beading sampler, so all the components, metal components that we use, I'm going to have that popped up. That one's cart 101. And so you'll notice that we have our cute little squirrels, we have our bunnies, we have our bead caps, the Acorn bead caps, we have our leaves, we have the whimsical spray, the bees, and some more leaves as well. So keep in mind that's everything that comes in there. It's a really great little fall inspiration for you all. And those sprays can be turned into, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we have 2 of those, 12 pieces.
Awesome
12
sauce.
mini pieces. That's a lot of pieces there for you guys to work with. All right, let me go back to here. So that's that. Does anybody have any particular project they want to see me do first?
Usually takes everybody a minute to respond. So while we are waiting for people to say, let's try to set up the view that Wendy was asking for, which is 2/3 you on the top, 1/3 demo on the bottom.
So reverse of normal?
The reverse of normal. And the reason for this is we want to be able to see what your hands are doing from more than one angle. So you can see kind of you in the bead mat, and then you can also see what's happening at the bottom. Okay. So Kathy gave us a bacon emoji. So is that, if you want to see the bacon earrings, aka oak leaf? Ooh, acorn necklace. That one is going to be messy, right? Just slightly.
Yes.
Probably save that one for last. At least the pendant part of it. Show us how to make those wire beads again, Lynn's saying. So yes, we will for sure do that. Oh, we got black screen for a sec there.
I know. It's because I'm editing this, so I have to.
The necklace says Gail. I think what we'll do,
more like this.
and it'll just take a second for me
Yeah, I
for
know.
it to pop up for me, and then I'll adjust our view. I think what we'll do is we'll have you make the wire components.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have you make the wire components, and then there we go.
Hi, Monica.
And then
Yeah.
we'll go on to
The
some of the other
acorn part
components.
is messy because we literally are building
We're
this out
making
of
it
resin.
from scratch. Yes.
So, just resin and paint. That's why that one's the messiest one. Okay, so let's do our wire components. That's very easy. So I'm gonna bring that out. Move my stuff out of the way. So we have 2 different wire components that we do end up creating. I'm utilizing 16 gauge wire that we end up painting. So I'm just going to take a small bit of this. And I'm also going to be using our tool here. So we're going to start with our, let me clean this sound up a little bit.
Don't mind me here in the background. If you see like the view changing a little bit, it's because I'm trying to get the most optimal view of two views of Ainsley's, what she's doing.
So I'm going to pinch the end, get it as close as possible to the center here. And then I'm going to start rolling it. And then I let it curve around there and rolling. So we're going to start rolling. Then when we get back up to the top where it intersects, we're just going to go right next to it. And we're just going to keep rolling nice and tightly. And we're going to do that until we have 7 rings around. Now we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're almost there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this will be our 7. And then at this point, I'm going to clip it so it's kind of in alignment for where that edge is, but also I'm going to tuck this end in a little bit better.
So this wire that Ainsley's working with is a 16 gauge. The only 16 gauge we really have on the website right now in stock is the natural brass colored wire. So you can do the same thing with that, or if you happen to have some of this on hand, it really will work with any 16 gauge wire.
Just launched that at myself. Maybe you guys saw that, but I can't hold it that closely to myself because I'm showing it to you guys. So there was no way for me to protect myself.
Like, look away. I think you just need some really killer safety glasses to wear. Some really super stylish ones.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe I'll look into that.
Super bougie ones.
All right. So now we have our coil here. So I'm going to just set this aside because this is our first one. We're going to do more to it in a second.
Also tell me what you think of this view. What do you think of it? Do you like seeing the two aspects of sorry, I just got to turn my closed captions off so I can concentrate on what Ainsley's doing. Do you like seeing the two views at the same time? I guess that's what I was trying to ask.
Where's our ruler at?
Good question. Right there, right in front of you. So kind of a fun thing Ainsley was doing this week was filming her class, or this last week was filming her class for the Jesse James Beads summer camp, which is going on soon, right?
Yeah. This is about, I would say, around 5.5 inches of clipping. I'm not really being precise, but just to give you guys a good reference, I probably will have extra for this one. The last one was very similar clipping amount as this one, so that's going to give you just a small little extra tail there. If you want to get it real precise, then I would just measure whatever one you use and go from there and then subtract your extra, and then you'll know exactly what you need. Anyway, we're going to start this, and we're going to start our coil. We're going to do that same thing where we're getting this in there right on the end, You don't want it really sticking out of here because otherwise that's not going to be curved. So just make sure it's nice and tightly in there. And we're going to start our wrapping process, keeping as nice and tight as possible. And then we start to curve it around. I do my first one nice and tight because that's going to become our loop in a second. So now I'm just curving it around at this point. Let me see how many spirals I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3. Maybe I will push these up a little bit. Right? Oh, no wonder I was using the opposite side for some reason.
Well, these do look bigger.
That's because I was using the wrong side.
No, I mean like on this, they do look bigger.
But it's not the same coil.
Okay, interesting.
Well, if you want a wide coil, you can do
yes,
it. This is what it will look
with
like.
A new piece of wire.
I'm going to, but I do want to finish this out so they can see, and we'll do the process again.
Right, so you can see what the difference looks like with the 5 millimeter barrel versus the 3 millimeter, right?
Yep. Did you kick me on purpose?
Yes, obviously. I'm just foot under the table trying to.
Yeah, she's trying to communicate subliminal messages to me via feet.
Is that subliminal or subtable?
It's subtable, but you know. We're gonna pretend it's subliminal so that they think that we're like psychic.
Telepathic.
Yeah.
So we were filming, and obviously when you're filming a class, you can make cuts because it's not live. And Ainsley, would you say how much do you prefer doing a recorded class versus a live stream?
I hate doing a recorded class.
It's somehow more pressure, right?
It's way more pressure. I would rather do this anytime, any day. I would rather do this every single day of the week, 5 times a day, one live per week, 5 times a week, than have to do one recording like that once a week. Woo! Okay, that's what that will look like. Let me do another clipping. Where did my wire go? Here it is. I hate recording. I just get for whatever reason, I get very embarrassed easily.
Ooh, actually, Tracy had a really great thought. I think that would look beautiful. She was saying, what if you were to hammer one end of the wire to make a paddle pin, but then still turn it into a twist? I think that would be really pretty, Tracy.
Yeah, that sounds very pretty. Okay. Now we have this going. Have this started. We're doing the exact same thing.
Do you know what this reminds me of? Using a curling iron.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true. And we're just going to start twisting it around, until I have 4 main coils I can count. This is 1, 2, 3. I don't count the first one because that's going to become our loop. Now we have 1, 2, 3. Keep wrapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to flip it to the other side. Right. And we're going to clip it at some point, but I'm going to first flip this guy up so I know where my front is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make little nuanced tweaks. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want it to be about here personally. And so I'm going to clip here.
Thank you, Tracy. She said, I really like the fall theme to the jewelry designs today. So actually, kind of our Monday live and our web sale were inspired by the same thing, because we're like, oh, like back to school, and it would be fun to do like back to beading, and it's kind of like beading class, right? So some fun, simple techniques that you can repeat over and over for your fall markets. So you can make a ton of these earrings all at the same time.
There's those 2 different sizes. This is the one we just did right now. Something else we can do. This is a pretty similar size. I think my own on the earrings are little. We can, ready? We're just pulling. These are pretty tight though, so you're really using your arm strength. We're just pulling. And we can stretch it out a little further. So, but if we're neatly doing our coils, we can always make them wider by stretching them out in a second after we've done that. Pull these on. Let me zoom out a little bit. These ones I did longer, so I would just wrap them a little further down or stretch it out. Let's try doing that again.
So we've made kind of a faux antique copper on the project one that Ainsley has done. She used the same wire, but so really any color of wire you can get to look like her finished earrings project.
Yep. Okay, we can bring this guy back on screen because we are going to be painting at this point.
Do we want to finish? Are there more wire components to build, or
No.
That's it, just the 2 of them?
I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't see any others. Necklace, bracelet, earrings. These are the only...
Okay.
Unless we want to roll our leaf.
Let's do that. Anything that's using the barrel pliers, let's do it at the same time. Christy.
It's 16 gauge.
16 gauge wire. And it doesn't really matter the kind of wire, other than, it should be a good quality, because we're going to be antiquing it anyway.
Okay. Move these guys off screen so they're not distracting. This is actually dun-dun-dun, our leaf. So we're just going to make a little bead here. And I did go in with other beads to just keep it from being loose, so I have some in here on the inside. That keeps it tight to everywhere else. So you can just keep that in mind. And we're going to use the smaller side again. This little end here, I'm going to keep very, very tucked in. I don't really want that to be a main focal point, but you'll notice I am getting it to go at an angle because I want it to be an end. So keeping everything as tight as possible, but also keeping this slightly to the side.
So would you,
in
is
alignment.
it like wrapping up a roll of paper? Like,
Yes,
so
but
where
it's very stretched out. So, gonna keep rolling this, and I'm pulling my piece this direction, pulling it away from my metal shapers here. So pull away like that, so, away like so, and keeping it as tight as possible. And so I'm just gonna continue to do that. We can go in and pinch down as much as possible too throughout this process.
Welcome, Robin. Do you ever find that you want to grip it with pliers when you're pulling it around, or is really your hand the best tool for that?
I just used my hand the entire time.
You got strong fingers, right? Ish.
I wouldn't say they're that strong.
Stronger than mine.
You have particularly weak hands, so.
It's genetic, don't blame me.
So this is one way we can do it, but you're gonna get a different result if we do it the other way, so I'm gonna show it both ways. You're gonna do the same thing where we're pulling everything at an angle and keeping it nice and tight.
So one nice thing about these leaves is they can become a bail, they can become a bead, and they can become just a connector.
Something you might want to use your pliers for in this is you'll notice because we're going this way, some of our edges are going to stick up, so we can go in and tuck those in. They're a little bit more stubborn, just so we can keep everything nice and tight. Really keep it nice and rounded so that it sits nicely. So continue to do this, continue to push up and over. Do our best to tighten this up. And I think it'll look better if I just tuck this inside here.
I actually really like it when you repeat a technique in a couple of different ways. It gives, I think it springboards ideas.
Yeah. So we can see these rolls look different. I'm gonna make sure to get this little leaf here that's sticking up a little more flattened out. Just this edge here. Okay. So this is the one that I did here, you'll notice. So if we start with the looped, the hole punch side and curve, this is the one that I have on my leaf here. And this is the reverse. So
Did you do the reverse one first or after?
reverse the one I did first.
Okay, so the reverse one cool thing is if you're using this as a pendant or not in the middle of your bracelet, you can hang something from that little bit of hole there, right?
Yes, you definitely could. And you could probably hole punch another here and put a ring through both sides because of just how it lines up with this other little dry off piece of leaf.
So for the earrings, since you're still working with that piece, do you want to show them how to I just used a round nose plier to do this top loop.
Yeah.
If you just want to demo that.
I have it over here. I pulled it over.
Awesome. You can just show them how to make a connector out of this leaf as well.
So all we're going to do is we're going to roll it over. This is super easy. Boom, done.
Hey, if you guys like this new view, send us some hearts so we know. I think it's kind of cool to be able to see the close-up of what you're doing and the far shot. And then if you particularly have to migrate off screen, then nothing's like loses.
So this is just a few uses of this leaf, and you can make really cool fun beads here. It's just a fun transformation.
Looks like we've got quite a few hearts coming in, so good. Awesome sauce.
All
That's
right.
my saying of the day. Is it a little silly?
I think a lot of people say that. I think
I
Corian
think
says it too. Corian
Maybe.
says it too.
I think when we listen to each other's lives, we pick up on our little like things
Corian
that
and I
we do.
have like things that we would both say in like
Yeah.
high school. I remember because we'd talk about like we would be like, yeah, we say cool beans, and not everybody says that.
You have your like little,
it's kind of our little
cousin,
our
cousin
little
language.
quirky thing, our little quirky things that we would say.
little cousin language there.
Okay. I'm gonna
Awesome.
do our painting now. I don't think we have any other techniques that are gonna not involve paint at this point. Do you want to?
One thing that won't actually is, if you want to do, just show them what these are, how these are constructed, maybe with just doing a little bit of seed bead and doing the end, because they're both done the same, I think, right? The necklace and
Yes.
the...
So we did, in our previous live, we did a, oh wait, I do have one more thing to show. I am so silly. We will show that in a second. Put a pin in it. Remind me later.
I'll keep you on
Where is
track.
my spray that I was showing them earlier?
Right here.
Ah, thank you.
Oh, you gotta make your little charms out of it.
Yeah, so we are going to simply get our little charms here.
I think we should have a whole list of like vintage vocabulary and sayings that we...
My
That we compile.
coined word is maximalize.
Yeah. How to maximize your designs, because simple isn't it anymore, is it?
Nope. So I'm
Not
just
unless you're
gonna
stacking up like 5 single pendant necklaces, then...
clip each of these. Man, it hates me right now. There we go.
Because it only doesn't cooperate when you're showing it live.
Well, I also can't see it as accurately, so I might be
Perfect.
going through a... It gets easier. The first one's a little more nuanced to get it started, but first couple are. We're just clipping all of these into little pieces.
I'm gonna,
We can go
See
in
something
and
really
take off.
quick.
Whoa.
No,
That's
I understand.
really bad.
I'm going to fix it. So I'm just wanted to see how this affected the upper light, because what I might do,
Clipping off this tail here that's left over.
we're getting just
So
a
that's
little bit of
just straight.
shadow on the bottom. So I want to see if this improves that. Yay or nay?
I hate that.
No. Okay. Tell us how you really feel, Ainsley.
I hate when she tries to change things when we're already on camera.
Midstream. She's like, stop distracting me.
So we're just clipping these little sides off here to make it straight. I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves, just keep it in alignment with the piece. Right? Just this one needs it now. And those look way better now. And then we're just going to file these.
So a couple of things that people have been talking about with files is that they're best used in one direction, which actually I've never used it that way. I've never noticed a difference.
What I notice is, yeah, it does the same thing, but if you're doing it in both directions, right?
So what happens? Get smooth.
It does get smooth if you do it in both directions, but what happens when you do it in both directions, it will actually take part of the metal off of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm trying to significantly reduce something, it's not that great for the blade.
Yeah, it's not great for it. For the
For
blade.
it to last as long.
Yeah.
But if I'm going like this, it's usually because I'm trying to get a large chunk of that metal off of there.
Yeah.
And that's it quickly.
Yeah.
But you can still do that with going one direction, and I do go one direction if I'm not trying to smooth something out a whole lot. But that would be why sometimes I do that. But a lot of times I think it just looks like I'm going both directions when I'm really not, just because of the way that my movement is.
Yeah, so...
Because there's a few times where people are like, why is she going both directions? I was not going both directions.
It just looks that way on camera, huh?
Yeah, sometimes it does look like that, but it's I'm not pulling that far away when I'm doing it, and so it'll unless I'm going like this, but I'm doing such small movements, it almost looks like I am going both ways.
Yeah, so Lisa said most files actually have angled cuts and will not cut in both directions. It's extra movement that doesn't file. So not everybody has a vintage file.
Yeah.
So check out what kind you have and use whatever optimal technique is comfortable to you. I love all these little bits and pieces that you've made throughout the jewelry.
You're saying that to me or somebody else saying that?
I'm saying
Oh,
that.
okay. Just get that nice and smooth, and then you repeat that same process for every single one of these. I'm just going to
Oh, Wendy says sometimes I lay the file flat and move the piece across it.
I do the
that.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with the reliefing.
Because I'm not actually moving my file, I'm
Right.
moving my piece.
Right. Also, I do that a lot when I use the reliefing block for the final stage finishing. If I'm really trying to polish it, I will just use that heaviest grit side, and I really do go, just ham on it, holding the piece. Awesome, Lisa. She said she was working all weekend creating with inspo from Friday, and then she said, I've had the very best time creating with my immense vintage stash.
Ooh, yay. I want to see something really quickly first.
Yes, do not let your guys take your tools and use them.
Yeah, that sounds like a horrible idea. I feel like they're very abusive towards their tools.
Or very particular, because some people's husbands have like really specific files.
They're either. I feel like it's one or the other.
Yes, right. Like, don't use my stuff, and I won't use yours. I've got my own set of tools.
This is one of the things that I do. This is for the earrings. We're going to take the little extra sprig here, and we're going to do the same thing we would with a head pin or eye pin. And we're just going to roll it sideways.
Wendy, they in a pinch, you can use the vintage tools to fix your nail in a pinch. But I don't recommend it on a regular basis.
I do that. I do that all the time. I'm in a pinch.
The reliefing block or especially if you're like, it's bothering you. Who cannot leave their fingernails alone if they're uneven? That's me. If I don't have a file or something with me, I will tear the whole thing off because I can't handle it. Oh, that's funny.
Maybe my sprig was a little longer on the other one for whatever reason. Or no, I
maybe clips it closer. Cindy says, hide your tools. My mom had a set of her kitchen knives, or she had kitchen knives, and she would always get really mad at my dad for using them for things that they shouldn't be cutting. He would cut through just ridiculous things, right?
Yeah.
And so my Aunt Barbara, who always buys the nicest things, she got my mom a set of Chicago cutlery, and she put right on the outside of the set, Ed may not use these knives. She wrote a note on it. And I think it stayed on there because they were really good knives and she didn't want him to see them abused.
I don't know why this isn't working the same way as when I did it twice on these earrings. Let me look at this. Oh, that's why. And that one just must have been longer, and that was my reference. Alright. So when we do this, we're actually just kind of pulling this piece and connecting it down to this other leaf here. And we're making this into our loop. Does that make sense? So this is the first thing that we do for our earrings. We're gonna do a different one in a second.
We could maybe do a repeat on that one that's a little bit more connected.
Yeah, I'll
right?
do that in a second.
Like, do you want me to see if there's one more of those?
I don't need another one.
Okay.
I have more of the sprigs.
Okay, perfect.
So, and then for our other ones,
So, funny thing about Ainsley, talking about like long and short fingernails, is there's a lot of things that your fingernails should be short for, including playing the bass.
yeah.
And she still wanted her long nails, so she figured out a different way of playing bass without.
You really
cutting
shouldn't do it that way because it's not, you can't play as cleanly, but I still did it effectively. But
Because she's stubborn like that.
Yeah, I don't do that anymore though. I just keep them short now and it's horrible.
But which do you like more? Long fingernail? I think your manicure is just gorgeous today.
Yeah, I went and got them done because I don't have time to do them myself anymore. So I gotta pay the monies. They gotta pay the cash. So I just roll that. And then I'm just gonna get it so it connects right down to that leaf below there.
What do you guys think of Ainsley's manicure today?
So like so. And then we'll do our last one, and this one we're gonna do differently. And yeah, you can look at it really quickly. She did a really amazing job.
What's the name of the
MJ,
studio?
it's the same place I went to before, Lovely Nails, but the girl that did them, her name is MJ.
Okay, so MJ at Lovely Nails in Boise, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Downtown. So yeah, these are really cool.
Janet says, I used to sew a lot of my family clothes and I would hide my shears under a chair cushion. I feel like that's like the worst offender thing is taking sewing scissors and cutting paper with them. I did it once and never again. My mom didn't get mad about a whole lot, but that was one thing she really got upset with me over.
Don't mess with the lady's sewing supplies.
I know. She had some mad sewing skills too. Can't tell you how many Halloween costumes she made for us kids.
Ooh, what was everybody's? I want to hear Aunt Wendy's favorite Halloween costume she made for her, and your favorite Halloween costume she made for her.
I think mine was, it was like an I Dream of Jeannie costume, and it had like a brocade, brocade belt thing, and then I just wore like a leotard over, and then that had the pants, like the harem pants. But I think that was my favorite that I can remember.
Then I'm just clipping one of our leaves off, our very top one. Not just one flying. Keep your eyes closed. Or have glasses. Don't do what I just did, because if that went in my eyeball,
that'll be bad.
That'd be bad.
Wear your safety glasses, ladies. Terry, I'm the same way. Even like the professional manicures will not stick on my hands.
Well, I think if you got them, I think if you got this one done professionally, it would, because I'm not as good at it.
Yeah,
because I don't have the same.
Every pro job I've had done has
You've
only
not had
lasted
this
a week.
kind though.
Yeah, this is true.
You should try this specific kind because it's like and it's healthier for your nail as well.
I'm a picker though, so like if it starts to come up at all,
it won't come up at all.
Well, maybe around my birthday, maybe around the fall, I will try it.
Okay, and so we're just filing this edge down of the one we just clipped off, and this one we're just gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna roll it backwards into a loop. Basically what my mom just said, she just told me what to get her for her birthday. No idea needed.
No, that's too expensive.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
No, because I'm you know what I pay, but I pay a really good tip because I appreciate their service, and I feel like for their time they deserve to get a good tip.
You know what? She has a pair, Peggy.
So that's just that. We just do a roll, and that's how we use those pieces. And these ones, we would just simply go through and hole punch every single one of them. But I'm not going to do that because you guys know how to do that.
Terry's asking what kind of manicure it is.
This is a Gel X, I believe, builder gel. And so what happens is you go and get it done every 3 weeks or every month. Just depends on how fast your nails grow. I have nails that grow particularly fast, so I'm more of a 3-weeker. I could probably even be a 2-weeker because they grow so fast. But so what happens is instead of taking the entire thing off of your nail once you are done, they take you have your top layer on. They remove the top layer, they keep the base layer, and then they fill in the bottom part that's grown out. So instead of constantly re-getting the base done and everything, this part of your nail is being protected, and you're not removing and adding, and that's really bad for your nail. So it's just a fill every
Would you
single
say
time you
these
go.
are more like durable for jewelry making?
Yes.
Like, so they don't like chip off when you're...
No.
You're doing some pretty heavy duty stuff.
Any of the stuff that I have done, it's never chipped off unless I've done it myself.
Mm-hmm.
None of the ones that I have ever gotten done has ever chipped off.
Peggy says, flying metal is no joke. Wear the safety glasses. We might need to bring yours from your mosaic supplies.
Yeah. So there's that. Let's go with our painting finally.
Ooh, yeah. So I really loved... Okay, so show them the bead in the necklace because I didn't even realize at first that she made these. That these were not a bead that she just got.
These are those. This becomes that. So we are going to go in with our paints finally. You can use this if it's plugged in. It is plugged in. Make sure these lids are on.
Yes. Hey, if you have a vortex mixer, which you could probably pull that over and show them what it looks like, what you're doing. Somebody commented on one of our YouTube streams. They're like, all I hear is machine noise and I can't see what you're doing.
I kind of do it until I can see clearly on the bottom.
So if you have one of these, make sure that you screw the lid all the way on, because otherwise the lid ends up full of paint.
Yeah, I just do it until I can see most of the bottom and liquid moving. So I know it's nicely mixed. Then these other ones can get mixed in a second, but I'm not using them yet. 16 gauge, and it is hard.
Yeah, I'm sure like dead soft you wouldn't want to do that. Half hard might be decent to work with, but it's pretty rigid wire.
Yeah, it's definitely is. You have to use a little bit more arm strength.
But it also means it won't lose its shape.
I'm just gonna drip this directly on there, and then I'm gonna go through and roll it through this puddle.
Ooh, cute.
Tap down to get that little excess off, and we're gonna go immediately with our heat tool. And what's gonna happen is these cracks are gonna seal more and more as we add more layers of paint. And I will use this one closely because I don't mind if this is bubbling or cracking, so.
Because it kind of adds the technique.
Yep.
Lisa, we sell a 16 gauge and it's like, I don't know, Corian might be able to tell you if it's half hard, but we do sell a 16 gauge in natural brass colored wire.
Roll again, tap down to get rid of excess.
And that will work well.
Repeat. Oh my gosh, I have an itch on my forehead. This is not okay. You wanna know what that reminds me of though? Guess what that reminds me of? Not being able to itch.
I don't know. Is it a movie? Or is it something personally?
Ballet.
Oh, like...
You can't ever itch yourself unless you're like...
So like when you're stage scenery and you're just sitting there.
If you have an itch, you are suffering with that itch. Even in class, if you're in the middle of a combination, you're not allowed to like take care of anything.
Right.
You'll get yelled at if you yawn.
No yawning. Oh, I know Marina would not tolerate that at all. No yawning in class.
Megan would not tolerate it either. Like neither of them tolerated that. She'd be like, "Are you bored? Don't yawn." Same thing.
Oh, Marianne's asking what color you're using. That's metallic copper, right?
Yes, metallic copper. Guys, are you proud of me? I'm not picking it up with my hand.
It also has the added benefit of not getting on your fingernails either, though. So you might be double motivated.
Well, also, yeah, that's why I'm not picking it up with my hand. Also because it would be really, really hot at this point. It's not like it's covering this entire thing, and it's easier for me to roll, not with my hand. Add a little bit more here.
Sarah Ann, what do you mean by not being able to find your comments? Do you mean like to see other people's comments on Facebook?
Sometimes you have to swipe, like left or right. What is it? To the right from the left?
I'm not sure, because it depends on what app you're on too. Are you on iPhone? Are you on your PC? Are you on an Android device?
Yeah, that's true. We're getting there. I think I just want to do one more coat of this.
Lisa said, I had to quit watching a live streaming company because the instructor would sniff her nose every 30 seconds. I'm glad this is a sniff-free zone.
That's actually really funny.
No sniffles unless we have colds.
Yeah, mostly, and even then I don't really sniff. I'm more of like I have a goofy voice kind of person.
Like, well, I get like really froggy. I'll get and then I have to clear my throat.
I'm just getting off a little excess when I'm topping it down here. And so I'm really going in with this because this is my final coat of my base layer here. Making sure I get all sides. Don't mind if it's close because I don't mind if it bubbles. If you really want it to bubble, just hold it in one spot for consistently and you'll definitely get more of that result.
I think that if you're not on the go, the easiest way to watch and see everything is to be on your PC because you can see the full screen and then the comments all the way to the right.
Yeah, if you have a PC, it's definitely the best way to watch it. I have one of my PC screens is a vertical screen, so it's literally perfect. So every once in a while, if I'm like on the computer that day and it's Corian's day, I just put it right there.
Yeah.
She's big full screen.
Ooh. Corian's asking you, do you remember Miss Blinky?
Yes.
Who's Miss Blinky?
You would actually, it's a teacher, and you would know who it is.
Wait, because she was my 5th grade teacher who made me cry.
Yes.
Mrs. Hanson?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. You guys, okay, so my 5th grade self is coming out in me lately because I forget things. I forget to bring things to the studio. For most of my life, I've been very super ultra responsible, and part of it because my 5th grade teacher would get really upset with me for leaving my homework at home and made me cry on multiple occasions.
Guys, make her cry. Maybe she'll stop forgetting things.
It won't work.
Okay, same thing, we're just gonna roll a little bit. I'm gonna tap it in, I'm just gonna roll this over here.
Welcome, Jean. My husband's back to school today too. I'm guessing you're a teacher, right? Students are coming back tomorrow for him, and Xavier is going back to school Wednesday.
Pop that in, and then we can just go in and add some little detail. Doesn't matter, we can use one of these silicone brushes here. You could use a normal one. I'm just gonna
Also,
with plops here.
With the antiques, the best way to make sure they're not getting stuck is using them on a regular basis. The metallic pigments, you might wonder why are those harder to mix? It's because those like to settle at the bottom. The regular standard pigments don't settle as much, and they stay naturally mixed a little longer. But it's just the way the formulas are made. Those are actually like, kind of like semi-solid pigments that are in
Just
there.
adding more detail, and then I'm just locking this in finally. And you could totally have a nice wide pool of this and do it all at once and have a long piece of wire.
Yeah, and you could let aside, do like a whole string of them, right? And dry aside and then repeat. What color did you use last? Was it
I said, and it's sienna brown.
Sienna brown, Marianne.
So I'm just heat tooling if you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry, my hand's in the way a little bit. Just making sure I get all of my sides. Or heat gunning, not heat tooling.
I mean, well, no, we call it a heat tool. Not everybody says heat gun, because sometimes the heat guns are a lot hotter.
Getting some of that popping a little bit more, so I'm just really going in and getting.
Yeah, it doesn't actually help to store it on its side. I found vertical is my preference. But if you find that works for you, or maybe like a 45-degree
Then
angle.
sometimes I like to just blow on the outside to cool it down, because I don't want the paint to be hot still, because it might smudge it.
Right.
So you can blow on it. And then you can handle it faster too.
Oh, never feel like you need to apologize for asking us to repeat like a color or the name of something or what you use. People are coming in all different times, and you can just, what happens to me is the name of something will just drop right out of my head right after I've heard it. So
that's that one.
Never a problem.
See that?
I would not use water to quench it, to cool it when it's got antique that's not completely set up.
Yeah.
So
no.
I wouldn't, if you were doing just metal, that would be fine. But honestly, it doesn't take very long to cool off.
No.
And then you have a wet piece that you have to deal with, so.
Yeah, the only reason I did that is because I had the heat tool on it for as long as I did, with so many layers without rust in between. And so that's why I just blew it on really quickly, so that we could get it nice and set sooner rather than later. All right. So that piece is done. I'm going to grab a couple. Can you give me a couple blue beads?
Yeah. Well, the 4mm faceted.
Yes. Can you give me like a little small sparkling of them?
A sparkling, huh? Is that a new vintage vocabulary?
Yeah, it's a sparkling now, guys.
Sparkling of beads.
I don't know. I think it makes sense. Does that make sense?
I think it's cute.
Does sparkling make sense to you guys?
Sprinkling?
Yeah, it's supposed to be sprinkling, but I definitely said sparkling.
I like sparkling better.
Me
I
too.
think it's cuter. Very vintagey.
And then I'm just mixing up this olive green color, because we're going to use it. Oh my gosh. Got a little too aggressive with that one.
Now they get to see the full view and not just your face of what's going on. Oh, it's hilarious.
I'm just adding this to my mat.
Candy says, I like sparkling too.
Do you want to dry off all these brushes here with paper towels that we should have taken out, but we didn't?
Say what?
Will you dry off all the, like, put these out to dry, all the brushes, and there's no paper.
We need some paper towels.
We have like two,
we got like
two
two
or
left.
three.
Hey guys, we were so ready to get out of here on Friday after filming that we kind of left. We usually do a really good job of cleaning up the studio, like everything up. But Friday we were just over it because we did like this marathon.
What we'll do is we'll leave our mats messy still, and then we just clean it before we get here. But also, pro tip: if it feels a little jiggly, just take your pliers and go boop. Oh, it stops jiggling. Nice and secure.
And yes, I would say you wouldn't spread it out. You would do any manipulating of it before painting the antique on, for sure.
I'm just gonna go like this. Whoop. New area, nice and clean.
Oh, did you see Lori Tybalt's right size tip that she did on DIY with Vintage? She actually took a bread knife and saws all the way through her paper towel roll.
So these are my beads, right? You're noticing that this is a very different color. This is what I started with. We're just gonna go through and paint them. I'm gonna start with my olive green, and I'm just going to go through and when I actually did this, but I'm being too lazy, I just kind of strung them on and I did it.
You roll them through?
I didn't roll them through, actually. I just painted on them. It just keeps them from moving too much, like it's happening right now, but whatever. Here I am.
People want to watch them dance around the screen.
Yeah. I'm just giving them a show.
They look like they're running away.
They're like little sprites in
Don't paint me.
My Neighbor Totoro.
I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
I love that one.
Is it?
Of course you are, because you didn't show us Studio Ghibli movies growing up.
I think that's very niche.
Studio Ghibli? No, most people watch Studio Ghibli growing up because all of the movies get redone in English voiceovers. So
yeah, but who do you know that grew up that way watching that? Personally,
literally everybody watched Spirited Away. Everybody watched Ponyo. I wanted to see that so bad, and you were like, no. I was like, but it's so cool. And it's so weird to me because that movie...
Is it a subscription or something?
No, they're literally just produced movies that you buy at the store.
Oh, maybe we just were broke.
No, you would buy other movies instead.
They were probably cheaper.
No, they were the same price.
I don't know.
You just didn't want
I've wiped it from my memory. Sorry. Maybe it's because your dad can't stand any anime and I knew what his reaction would be.
But it's not in another language. It's not, I mean, it's just Japanese produced, but it's not in another language. It's literally voiced over.
I don't have an answer
and
for you.
So much of the art and costume, like, character design is so good. And it's very magical and whimsical. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Any ladies watch, like, Spirited Away and Ponyo and all of those classic ones? My Neighbor Totoro is a little more niche of one, but Spirited Away and Ponyo are really well known. Because that would be more, but Ponyo would be more like my generation of stuff. But they had really big names doing the voice acting for all of it.
Huh.
Which is why a lot of people know them.
Gotcha. Corian says we didn't get to watch SpongeBob. I limited how much the kids could watch SpongeBob, but they were allowed to watch it.
Yeah, we were allowed to watch it.
Yeah,
We couldn't
if it
watch
was
a ton.
like if they were just like that's all they
But
were
you
watching
didn't.
that
The
day,
thing
I'd
is,
be like,
you wouldn't let me watch Adventure Time
no,
or
well, it was just like weird.
regular show, and that's literally like all my friends would watch.
Well, yeah.
All the stuff my friends would watch, I was not allowed to watch. And a lot of people love Adventure Time because it's just goofy.
I was just like, I don't know what's going on in this show, and you know, before I kind of wanted to let you guys watch media, I wanted to be able to understand exactly what was being portrayed. So
I'm just gonna dry these really quickly. Just do a little nice stick down, get them nice and stuck on there. It'll kind of blow away a little bit. They look like peas right now. They look like mashed peas.
Ooh, pea soup.
Now we're gonna go in with our sienna brown for more detail.
We must be hungry. We're seeing bacon and pea soup today. I was kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, I'll bet some people would buy bacon earrings.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Yeah.
Like little polymer clay made ones. Yeah, like Peggy said, it's not a bad thing.
See, if you don't have enough like things you're deprived of, then you miss out on that feeling of missing out as a kid. Because nobody wants to be around the kid where their parents always say yes to everything. Robin says there were several things Bro and I weren't allowed to watch either growing up. You're not alone.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a normal experience. But I care less about the Adventure Time, but I would have loved a lot of the Studio Ghibli movies. Like,
Yeah.
you would probably love the movie, I think it's like Erin Getty or something. She's essentially like a little person. She's like tiny little, she's a tiny little person. They live in like the walls of a house, so they go into,
cute.
and she like travels. She wants to go to this dollhouse, and
We
like,
can watch it this week.
yeah, it's really magical.
Find it on it.
But the art in there is so beautiful, and the character design is so beautiful. Like, the lady in Ponyo, like, her Ponyo's mom in it, you would think she was just lovely. She reminds me of, like, the ladies that we have in our brass stampings. Like, her design is more like that kind of whimsical feel.
That sounds cool. Tracy says, I have a very eclectic viewing history of animated films. My mother, being an inker for Hanna-Barbera in the 1960s, made sure our household had an appreciation for hand-drawn animation.
Yes. It's really cool. Makes me think of Prince of Egypt, that scene.
Love that
with
movie.
the water. That took them, I think, pretty sure 2 years to do that. I really hope they start to bring back the hand-drawn.
Yeah, or like, so there's something about like vintage cartoons, the Hanna-Barbera ones, like Johnny Quest, and they always had some like kind of exotic destination in them, which really was always drawn to as a kid.
Going in with that metallic copper now. I remember as a kid when we were like, sometimes you would be like, you guys can only watch like National Geographic or something like that.
Yes.
I loved when they put the Egyptian ones where they're going in and they're explaining the stories and all of that. I was like, I was so locked into that information.
Now it's like the thing that Xavier gets in trouble for is watching YouTube shorts
Yes.
for too long. Like, for a couple minutes is okay, but I think that you just can get trapped into a loop
Yes, you definitely
of
can.
just watching them forever. And so I'm like, no short format, only long videos
That's why
or something with a plot.
I definitely get sucked into Instagram Reels, but it's not as bad as getting sucked into like TikTok per se. So I have TikTok, but I don't really use it unless I'm looking for something specific.
Right.
Looking for reviews, their search system is better than the Instagram search system if I'm looking for something specific or recommendations or things like that.
I think your mat is really pretty right now. Just a random thought.
It looks like a little firework.
It does. It's like, pew.
So just get those dried. And now we have very fall inspired beads. Look at that.
No, we did some of the acrylic leaves as well, right?
Yeah, I just put the sienna brown, and then I think you added copper, or maybe I did. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, and I added a little bit of copper.
And I think the sprigs I painted with just the moss straight on there.
Yep, and then this looks like it just has a small layer of metallic copper, very thin layer of it.
Ooh.
But this is how we get our beads to transform. I'm just going to string this on here really quickly so we can see a little example. A couple of this. I'm going here with my bead. I'm using these smaller ones to go in between because it's going to fill into that space a little better. Then I'm going to show the example of my leaf here.
So now you're using 20 gauge solid brass wire, right?
Yes.
That's
this
available
is-
on our website.
And so you'll notice I'm going to shove this bead right up into this leaf here. So this is how I get it nice and tight and together.
These are, what size of these fire
We've
polish
featured
beads?
these quite a few times, so
Are they like 4x6 millimeter or something
Maybe.
like that? I think they're 4x6 millimeter fire polish beads.
But yeah, this color scheme is a whole lot better than that blue, so if you have nothing on hand, don't be afraid to paint it, especially if it's a resin base, that's really great, or if it's like textured, it's a little harder with a smoother surface though, unless it's a natural surface. But yeah, it's a little example there of that.
Do you want to just like maybe clip off either side of that to show the end finishing? Am I too late?
Do you wanna I can take a break and go to the bathroom really quickly, and you can paint this one.
What?
Or
okay, yes, I'll
you
do
can
that.
paint any, or maybe your leaves. Yeah,
I'll do
probably
both
show
of
them
those.
the leaves as well.
We're gonna get into a little bathroom break.
Show this. Just make
Oh
sure.
no,
that
I'm
you're-
gonna be in 3/4 view or 2/3.
Yeah, but you just need to make sure that you're on camera.
Okay, I will try.
So aim for the center.
It's a little tricky.
Aim for the center, and you should be
Okay.
pretty golden.
Don't be upset with me if I'm not optimal. Okay. Here we go. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm gonna clean her mat while she's gone. Shh. Get it non-distracting. So if you have silicone mats like we like to use on the lives, we found a really good way to clean them is using Clorox wipes. They have a nice like little bit of grit to them and they don't really leave lint. So if you want to clean your surface up while you're working on it and don't want to fully take your mat into your sink, you can just use one of these wipes to do it. So, see if I can use my brain to remember what we did here. Get my example pieces out. So Ainsley made these earrings and I painted the little pieces for her and then added this rondelle up here, which I can tell you what size that is. That looks like probably about 8 millimeters. Yep, so this is an 8 millimeter rondelle. Use baby wipes to clean yours. That's great, Christine. Whatever works and whatever you've got on hand is nice. So I'm going to put that there and then move these over a little bit. And hang on a second. I'm going to grab one of the brushes that I just washed off. Don't mind me. Don't mind my reach. Okay. So you can see that we have this really lovely kind of antique copper look that's very aged on this spiral. I just wanted to make this tie in with what Ainsley did on the coil beads here. So I did 3 colors. So I used the metallic copper. I'll get a little puddle of that out here. And the sienna brown and some inkwell purple. I haven't opened that one yet today. So this one, I feel like it gives a little bit of that that kind of cooler tone that happens in metal. That's why I like to use the inkwell. I think that I didn't do this, but I think what I will do with this is use the heat tool to speed it up while I'm doing it this time. So you just kind of dab it on the coils in sections and let it run off to a certain degree. This is if you want to change the color. So if you've got copper wire or whatever you're working with that you don't want to change the color, then just go ahead and leave it. It helps to work a little bit faster and then get it dried on there quicker. Totally optional thing to do, but you just kind of add colors. Another kind of fun thing is if you get the metal hot and then put some of your colors on there, that can also make them kind of like hyper stick to it. Yupo paper, huh? I'll have to, when I pop off screen, I'll have to look at what you guys are talking about in the side comments. Okay, so I want this top to match, so I'm going to put another like little bit of a coat up there. And then there we have our swirl for our earrings. So to get this paint finish, or antique finish I should say, I used a little bit of each of these colors again on these. I feel like I almost want to clean up some of this that I've done here so you can see the contrast of it against the matte. even though I'm kind of wasting paint a little bit, it can be really hard to see the demonstration, I feel like, if the background's too busy. I don't know if you guys notice a difference, but I do. Okay, so I just applied this in sections and then kept on, just keep working it until I'm really happy with the color. So kind of all over with the metallic copper, and then little tiny sections with the inkwell and the sienna. So they will kind of start to blend into each other a little bit. If you have more than what you want on there, you can kind of blend it with your paper towel. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and set this up real quick. It's pretty, isn't it, Candy? She said she really likes this paint color combination.
Yeah, it's nice.
So I didn't really leave that on there super long, and I can pick it up. So it's really just when you've had it on there for a long time, it can kind of like hyperheat it. So there we go. I've just been cleaning the mat for you in between, and I did an overall, so it's not distracting.
Those Lysol lemon disinfectant wipes work.
Clorox.
Or Clorox, yeah, sorry.
Yes.
They work so much better than...
Like trying to do it with paper towel, would be sitting here scrubbing forever. So whatever combination they have is really lovely. Okay, you guys get to have the pro come back on.
Careful, she almost tripped over some wires there, guys.
Hey, I didn't though.
She's in the
Give me
danger
some credit.
zone. She's in the danger zone. Okay. Oh wait, we were talking about this, right? You're like, did you ever tell the ladies about that over the weekend? Like my high school story?
Oh my gosh. If you want to hear the tea,
Because we were
you
just talking
came to
about
the
it.
right place, right?
So when I was in high school, I was going through a lot of like health stuff. My it kind of progressively got worse because the doctors couldn't tell us what it was. And we started asking questions my sophomore year, and then it got really, really bad my senior year, to the point that like I stopped going to school because I felt sick all the time. I was like very, very sick all the time. And so I was not going to school. Eventually, when they figured out what was going on, I was able to get a doctor's note and stop going to school, right? I didn't have to go. I just did online school. And so what ended up happening is, like, obviously people talk. Obviously there's gossip, all of these things. And so my health issues had contributed to my weight gain. So I was at, like, the largest I had ever been in my life. I had always been pretty fit before then, until I was having these issues. And so does anybody want to take a guess of what the rumor was that they said about me in high school? Anybody want to take a guess? We'll give them a couple seconds, and I'm going to start
ridiculous
prepping.
thing.
I'm going to start prepping my materials here.
Corinne might know though.
No, she would have been
No,
graduated.
that's right. She'd be gone already. Otherwise, she would have punched them in the face.
Yeah.
Seriously. Because Corinne is like a warrior. She's like warrior princess.
It wasn't pregnant, actually. Somehow not pregnant. It wasn't pregnancy. So, what they said is that Ainsley's parents pulled her out of school Both of my parents, mind you, my dad was a teacher at that school and everybody knew what he was like. He's a very friendly person because she got fat. They said that my parents pulled me out of school because I got fat.
And she wasn't even.
I was...
Like, it's ridiculous.
I was a little chubby. I was definitely considered to be overweight, but not morbidly obese. I was probably just barely into the levels of obese at that point. And I am a very muscular person as well. So my weight, I'm significantly way more than I look.
Yes.
I always have. Yeah.
But you always were like a little lead sinker or a brick, what I would call you when you're a baby, because you pick you up and you're like, oh man.
Yes.
Solid kid.
Everybody would always guess my weight wrong when they would look at me.
Yeah. But it was like, yes, isn't that crazy, Peggy? Seriously. We've got an OMG, that's horrible. OMG. We were just talking about like the advantages of not.
And I didn't hear about that. I just didn't hear about that until years later when my friend told me. She's like, yeah, I remember at that point in time because we were just talking about it. She's like, this is what they said, and I didn't know about this at the time until a few years later, and she was telling me that that's what was being said about me, and I was like, wow, that's terrible because people knew that I was going through health stuff. And they even, like, one of the girls even wrote an article about it, too, as, like, a story, like, untold story kind of thing for the yearbook or whatever, and I think it was probably in the newspaper at some point, too, our school newspaper, and they still said that. I was having very significant health issues. I was very sick, very exhausted, and also I was considered to be malnourished despite my overweightness. Like, all the tests that they did on me showed that I was malnourished at the time. So, which is crazy, even though I looked overweight.
So you might wonder why, because Ainsley was talking about her high protein diet that she's on, and you might wonder, well, you know, why would you do something like that? And it's to make sure that that doesn't happen again, right?
Yes.
Like you don't get SIBO.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very particular, and I don't do calorie restricting or anything like that because of fear of that repeating.
They would never say that around her dad.
No, he's kind of scary.
Yeah, because like he's very very well loved teacher, but also like a lot of people were super intimidated because he's not a small man.
No.
And not just in a colloquial way. He's very, very strong, very broad shoulders. So they would maybe know better than to say it around him.
So all I did here is I'm kind of measured about how long I wanted my acorn to be by, I just put it at that point, and then I started my loop there, and I made a wrapped loop really quickly. And so this is how we start our process. And today, we get to use our flashlight. Can you hand it to me and the resin?
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't hand me the resin either earlier.
Did you ask me?
Yes, I did.
Oh, is that enough in that one?
We'll see.
Do you need another one?
I think we'll probably have enough.
I'll get another one prepped just in case you need it.
They're over there.
Carbs are what make you overweight, not protein. Yep, for sure.
And carbs can be good too. It just kind of depends on your body.
Yes, because I can handle a decent amount. I'm like the one. Well, I don't know. Yeah, everybody else prefers a lot more protein.
So I'm going to have my flashlight here prepped. I'm going to have it on. I'm just going to have it down so that it's not shining yet. So I'm just having it face down, prepped on. Okay. And I'm very quickly going to go in and add a little drop here. I need this to be sealed closed to this, so I'm going to make sure that it is parallel.
Thanks for joining us,
perpendicular to this. So I do my best to get this nice and lined up. I want my here to be as straight as possible, so.
Robin, you need to tell us the story from that favorite quote. Peggy, don't I know it. You know what my like the bane of my existence would be to ever like have to completely give up bread, like French bread or homemade bread.
I'm just gonna go in and I'm doing a small amount right in where that hole is, and I'm gonna immediately pick up my flashlight. So we're gonna work very quickly here. Get that in there and try and lock it in. Just dropped it in there and I'm already starting to seal it with my little flashlight here. Don't know why that little flake got there, but okay. Seal that up the best we can. And then at this point, I'm going to just completely fill up the cap, but I'm going to straighten this out really quickly as well so it's more centered. It's just ever so slightly loose, so we're probably
so
tighten it a bit.
Corian, it's not about what size you are, it's about your gut health. So some people just can't, like if you have celiac disease, you just can't have grains. Sad, right? Kind of like you can't eat chocolate. Some people would think that was the end of the world.
I feel like Wendy would think that was the end of the world.
Probably.
I know she loves her chocolate. Actually, she makes the most amazing healthy chocolate. She should drop that recipe because
it's so good.
It's so good. It's so much better for you.
If she's not on here, you guys can bug her on the Wednesday live to put it in the recipe share chat.
Yes.
Because it's so good.
Just getting that sealed up more. So I'm just really making sure I work extremely quickly for this part in particular because of, this is just how we get it kind of like locked in so none of the resin is dripping out the other side. Yeah, Corian's mom has to go through kind of the worst of it with her diet, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's been through the ringer too with what kinds of food she can eat.
Yeah, hers is probably one of the more extreme cases.
Yeah, more restrictive. Some friends of ours were talking about their son and how he had to have all special, just like everything that he ate was a special recipe.
That's really sucky.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm just going to fill up my cap.
So, Kanya says, I can't tell where you are putting the resin. Please explain.
So, all I'm doing is I am adding it to the very base. There's a little hole in the bead cap at the bottom, right? So there's that little space. So I'm just filling that little space as quickly as possible, working quickly so it doesn't drip out the other side. So that's why I'm doing that small step first. All you're doing, it doesn't have to be super precise, is just getting that sealed up and making sure it doesn't drip out the other end. Now I'm just filling this up so completely filled to the top of the cap.
Robin said, I have severe food allergies, so I understand.
And for this one, we can use the normal light. Can you hold this so it's parallel and doesn't drip out?
I will do my best.
while
Just
No, just hand me the. No.
turn it this way and I'll hold it under there for
No,
you.
no, I got it.
You sure?
Yes, I got it.
Okay. Were you guys, when you were kids, do it yourself kind of person, or do it for me kind of person? And are you still that way?
I was a do it myself.
Obviously.
Unless I'm to the point that I'm so overwhelmed I'm crashing out.
Then it's do it for me. Then it's come sit and
Come tell me how to do it and help me do it.
come and help me dig myself out of the disaster I made in my room
Yes.
so that I can process what needs to be done because there's too many things out.
Yes. I remember because I would like play with all my toys, and then if my room got to a certain point of messy, I would get very, very overwhelmed. I wouldn't know how to like go about it or tackle the issue,
Yeah.
and it's just like if I was told to clean it, but I didn't know what to do. I was super overwhelmed, and my poor older brother had to help me clean my room so many times.
He's like, Ainsley, you owe me forever till eternity because it was like always. I'd be like, just come in here and help your sister. She's overwhelmed. I understand. So I understand this actually because I get the same thing. If there's too many things out, I get overwhelmed. So I will compartmentalize when I clean. If something's a big mess, then I section stuff out, and purposely when I'm reorganizing, I never bring everything out at one time and spread it all out. I do things in little pods and try and contain the mess so that I don't get like visual stimulation overwhelmed while I'm doing organizing.
Yeah.
So I've learned a few of those tricks so that I can get past, I'm really overwhelmed, so I'm going to break this down into smaller tasks and just focus on that one task. Robin says, I even entertained myself as a baby. Do it myself.
I
feel like we're a lot of do
was
it
very
myself.
independent. You can tell them how you had to get me to go to sleep as a kid. As a baby.
Yes, so older brother, I would lay down with him and sing him to sleep, read a book and then sing him to sleep, and then he would go to sleep. Ainsley never could be forced to go to sleep. So you would sing to her and rock her, and then she'd like realize what you were doing and get upset at you. So I would always have to just set her down in her crib. And this it was the hardest thing for me to do, to let her cry for about 3 minutes. And then she decided that she wanted to put herself down for her nap. And then she would go to sleep. But you could not just rock her to sleep or anything like that. Couldn't trick her into going to sleep. Either that, or I would find you when you're a little older. I would find you in random places around the house.
There's pictures of me sleeping in random places. One of those places was the wooden stairs.
Yep, just stretched across there.
I remember I was like tucked up. My head was like on one stair, and then my knees were like kind of like crouched up on the one stair below it. Okay, we're also gonna work very quickly here.
Yes, FOMO runs in our family.
We're also gonna work very quickly here. Same thing. I'm gonna have my flashlight here on, and I'm gonna do very quick drop in the middle because we're building up here as we go.
I have another bottle ready for you if that one's getting low too.
Just try and keep it off of the ends here. You might get a little bit. Just quickly wipe it off. So I'm just slowly building up at this point.
My kids weren't big on falling asleep in the car. You guys didn't do that a lot. A lot of the tricks wouldn't work. Oh, that sounds amazing, Deborah. I always wanted to play a house like that. I was always jealous of the kids that had those.
I'm mostly focusing this in towards the center of it. So when I drop it in the center. It's going to slowly spread out to the edges, but it just makes it, it's the best process to keep it off the edges as much as possible. I did get some on my edges, but as you can tell, it's really not that noticeable. Especially because nobody's going to be looking at your beads very, very up close for the most part.
So you could totally use these bead caps with a already done bead, but we thought it would be fun to show how to make a completely from scratch acorn shaped pendant.
I recommend gloves. I'm obviously not using them, but I'm kind of stubborn if you guys couldn't tell.
No, they haven't picked that up at
So I
all.
will just wipe off any like drips that I get on there.
Yes, Corian, there was the clubhouse down there, but it was incessantly filled with spiders. So we would go down there a couple times a year, and my dad would like bug bomb it before we used it. But then it always smelled like Raid when you're sleeping. I can't imagine it was too healthy for us because the whole thing smelled like Raid. Because it was like bugs and snakes and... Aw, that's so sweet. She said my daughter required back and head hair rubbed to fall asleep. Whenever I think of FOMO, like fear of missing out, I think of that video of Xavier where we're like, Xavier, do you want to go to bed? And he's like, no. It was like a nightly occurrence. Like it was the most tragic thing in the world. Not much has changed.
That makes me think of Wendy, her oldest son Drew, and he tricked his kids, and I think they were like, maybe they're like nighttime bath or something, or they were doing something. He was tricking his kids, and he's like, you guys are not allowed to go to bed. Like he used reverse psychology, and they were super upset about it. They're toddlers.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, you need to go to bed.
Xavier would be like, right on, yes.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology doesn't work on that kid.
He's like, okay.
Dang it, you called my bluff.
Man, these stupid bubbles.
Oh, that's cool. Robin says her neighborhood is called Oak Hills. Lots of oak trees and nuts acorns. So the bundle that we have up, the fall beading bundle that's on vintage.com, right now for sale has like quite a few of these acorn bead caps in it that you can play around with.
Can you do me a favor and hold this for a second? Because I have a brilliant idea. Just hold it on there and this as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where is
What you looking for?
my tape?
Washi tape? Right there. Right next to your hand.
Okay. All right. You can hand that back to me. My brilliant idea is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it all the way around it in a second here. Actually, hold this.
Highly experimental.
Okay, just took that and tore it in half. And I'm just gonna do this like this.
Oh, to keep your bead cap clean.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably pretty smart to mask that off. I always liked the cute playhouses, the ones that were made to look like a real house. They've had like, I would dream of ones that had like mini kitchens in them and, like a full setup. My friends always had the best toys, and I had a lot less toys, I think, and none of the big play sets for sure. And I thought that, Ainsley had a good selection of dolls, but she later has told me that it was nothing compared to her friends.
No.
And they always had like quadruple or more of material things than she did growing up.
Yeah, they did.
But I was just like,
because so a lot of my friends would be like, oh, you're so rich because you have this and this and that, right? But they had way more things than me. Like way more material objects than I did, like possessions of their own.
Right.
And I just had more like shared things.
Because we would invest in things that the whole family could use, or in our house, or in your extracurricular education, right? Like
yes.
Piano and dance and that kind of thing.
But yeah, my friends and classmates always had a lot more material objects than I did.
I always wanted a tree house too, and
my dad promised he would build us a tree house.
It did
for
happen.
Years. It never happened.
I think he fully intended to. I think he even bought the material. This is an ADHD thing too. It's like you buy all the things for the project and then you don't start the project.
Okay.
Do we know anybody else like that? No? Yes?
I started that project. I have a full thing laid out. I just didn't execute the planned out project.
You got to the sketch phase, right?
I got to the design part stage,
yes.
Just not the put together stage. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see better here. Okay, I have my flashlight on hand. I'm going to do the same thing.
Sometimes I feel like having more stuff is just like that scene in the Labyrinth where the junk lady and like everything's...
I've never seen the Labyrinth.
What? I think I at least tried to make you watch it.
No, never. You watched it with somebody else. You watched it with everybody else. I didn't see it though. I remember you guys talking about it. But
I was trying to make Xavier watch it, and he wouldn't watch it. Another one to watch then. Catch up on all the missed childhood.
I'm just adding blobs from the top here, and we're just slowly building it up. And it's going to look really messy at first, but I promise it's going to look better once we get to that point where we can actually, It'd be even easier if you had like a slight mold. Ooh. Don't fall.
Right, you could do that. Lisa says, I think you've just diagnosed me. Jean says, fully diagnosed ADD, for sure. It's okay. So we were just talking about this last night, right? Like how the neurodivergent mind just processes information differently. And I would argue that there are a lot of people in the creative community that have some sort of neurodivergence, right? Where it's just not like exactly like everybody else. I don't know what my brand is. I know I for sure think differently than like pretty much everybody that I grew up with.
Yeah. Well, I pretty soon am actually, because I go see a psychologist or psychiatrist. I go see a psychiatrist. So she's a doctor. And so I'm actually getting neuro testing. So whatever I am diagnosed with, right, within that spectrum of things will probably be what my mom has.
Probably.
So,
yep.
Because more than likely, you got it from your parent.
Yes.
So we'll see. We might find out here soon. But I'm not going to be like, oh, I have this or that until I have a specific diagnosis. It's just the way I process my information here. I'm not going to be like, unless I'm completely sure. I'm not going to say I'm one or the other. I have to be certain.
100% sure.
It has to be certain.
Oh, that's so sweet, Lisa. She said, all the silent auction work I'm creating is for United Services for Children that are little ones on the spectrum. On DIY with Vintage, I've seen a lot of her posts come through that are showing her auction items.
That's cool.
So you guys can check that out.
I feel like I forgot to check DIY with Vintage this weekend, and I usually am pretty good at it. Anytime I do check it, I try to like go through and like and comment, but sometimes I forget.
Can you check your view there? I'm behind you, so
I forgot to move. I was just holding it a little too closely.
Gotcha.
I've got it corrected now.
Thank you. It is true, Lisa. We were just talking about that last night, about how I feel like it's a different perspective, and I don't view like diagnosis is a bad thing. I feel like it's just understanding yourself a little bit more, and how you interact with the world, so that you can make the best use of that.
Yeah.
But I don't consider it a detriment.
Something interesting for me, at least, is that before I could get my testing done, right, my psychiatrist required me to be completely even keeled with any of my other symptoms, like
stress
free, no anxiety, no depression, none of that stuff going on. I had to be like in a really good place for her to do testing to make sure that wasn't affecting or impacting the results. So yeah, just keeping that in mind. We're getting there now, guys.
I agree, Lisa. I think back when I was young, having a diagnosis, people didn't want to label anything because they felt like it was going to be cause for discrimination. So I think we've come a long way in understanding that different brain types are unique gifts.
I'm just going to go in sideways now to build up the sides more.
Lisa says, Ainsley, you are so charming and adorable. Thank you for your transparency.
Absolutely. I feel like it's better to be transparent about things like that because, you know, you don't know who's listening, who's watching, and
Right.
it might help them.
Exactly.
Especially, I feel like in our society, right, we're slightly stepping away from this, but everybody wants to appear perfect all of the time, and well, that's not very realistic. Most of us are not perfect all of the time. So I think it's healthy for people to see your imperfections.
Especially if you're a perfectionist type. If you want to get away from that, then allowing yourself to be vulnerable and let some of the cracks in the veneer show will help you step away from the feeling or the need to always be perfect in everything that you present.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sweet. Jean says that is why I teach special education. Love that.
Oh, no.
Can you salvage it? Yes.
It'll be fine, yes.
What is cross-dominant? Lynn, I'm curious about what that is. She said, I found out when I was in my 30s and I was teaching that I was cross-dominant. I just thought I was dumb because school was so hard for me. sometimes things like dyslexia, for example, that is considered a learning disability, it can make it really difficult to read, but then conceptualizing things in 3D or having a sense of direction, or like an internal compass, can be like a gift that you have that comes along with that. That is really self-aware and beautiful, Peggy. She said, I have many imperfections, but for the most part, I love them all.
We can start to see that this is finally taking its shape a little bit more. We're going to go in and add some more just to get it so it starts to do that little rounded shape. And then once we've added enough, we are actually going to use, you can either use sandpaper. I'm just going to use our metal file because we don't have any sandpaper here.
You could use the reliefing block.
It's not going to like shape it enough. Yeah. It's a little too soft for what I am intending to do, but definitely recommend sandpaper, like a heavier grip until, or if you're really fancy, I also thought about this too, but I wanted to do something that everybody had accessible. If you have like a nail filer, like electronic one, you know that they do, you could totally use that. Like it goes like this in a little circle with the little grip on the little tool on the end. You could totally use this to shape it a little bit better.
Oh, that's so sweet. Lisa said, I think one of the reasons why I was so drawn to this group initially was the creativity, but then I quickly realized that it was where we could come and be cheered on and encouraged. I think you guys have been really great for us as well, because it can be hard, like especially if you do have a creative brain or one that's a little bit different, to find a group of people that you gel with. You know, it's usually just like a few people that I'll find in a community that really are kind of like-minded.
Yeah.
So this area, there's just so many people that we have so many things in common with.
And it's really great to be able to see so many different unique perspectives as well, and unique experiences. I'm actually gonna move this back because I am working.
Sort of hard to explain. I'll look it up, Lynn.
Close to myself.
I think people that have a harder time learning something to start with become really excellent teachers too, though, because you've already learned how to overcome something without it being just standard and natural for you. So you're going to look for those ways for each of your students.
We were talking about some of the people in my school who are like very smart, and how one of the people who was like very smart was actually very mean because she couldn't comprehend how other people couldn't just pick it up and understand it. So
right.
She was like asked to like help people, but she didn't have the brain to be able to help them properly because she couldn't empathize.
So maybe
or break down the process.
So maybe not as smart as
she could do it, but not teach it.
Right.
Well, there's something to be said for being able to teach it.
This is kind of cool too in the clear format as well. I love your copper one, but that's looking really neat the way it is as well. Oh, yeah, no thank you, Lisa, for sure. I think something that has been part of Vintage since the beginning has been, because, you know, obviously there are a lot of years that we weren't doing live format classes like this. And that's only been the last few years, but we really tried to foster like a sharing type of community with working with other people in the industry. And now it's really great to be able to work hand in hand with all of you guys.
Okay, we're really getting there at this point. It's not good if I have washi tape stuck to my hand.
Yeah, I think no matter what your perspective is, like if you might not understand a person, right? Or that it's harder for them, but kindness is always the thing, right? You might get frustrated with not being able to get them to learn something, but as long as you're approaching it with kindness, that's the main thing.
Just kind of spreading this out a little bit, trying to get it slightly more even.
Yeah, Christine, I think you could make a mold. Like you make your original acorn and then make a silicone mold of it.
That would be a really smart idea.
And then you could do like production. So like use what Ainsley's made here to make a silicone mold, and then you could make a whole line of these for like a fall market. Like the 2-part putty, I think you could do that with. So one original and then just bang them out, right? Put your resin in there, cure it. It's so true, Christine. Everyone does learn differently. Every single person, every single one of my kids. So when you think you have it figured out, then start over again. My husband has really learned a lot from his current job. So for over 25 years, he was a band director, middle school and high school, because it was a small school. And then when we moved to Idaho, he took a job as an elementary music teacher. And he was in a neighboring community for a while, but now he's in the Boise School District, and he teaches at a Title I school. So he has a lot of kids who don't have the same kind of home supports. So they're coming at it with all sorts of different perspectives. Some of them are refugees, so there's a lot of like different parts of Africa that they have kids coming from, and then a lot of kids that just don't have the same kind of background or home support just because of their current situation. So he's really learned a lot about different ways of teaching through that experience.
So I know I have a decent shape built. I'm going to lock this in because I haven't done it very long for each little session under the flashlight. So I'm going to really lock in all the layers I've built up, do a long UV resining point, and then we're going to do some more shaping to it.
Yeah, I love the idea of making your first piece
Mm-hmm.
and then making a mold, and then you can just glue that molded piece into your bead cap.
Well, I think it's a
with
smart idea,
resin.
and I would definitely think that like getting like the little nail tools, right? The thing that like does the little whatever
yeah.
would be really cool investment, because if you make your resin piece and shape it with the tool, it'll be way easier to shape it with
Right,
the tool.
probably. But you
could
might
make
need
a
to
really
have-
cool intricate.
Lisa might be able to tell us if you'd have to wear PPE for that. like resin, like sanding resin with a tool like that? Does it
You
produce?
probably should put some glasses and some
Yeah, like a mask on or
face
something.
mask on for sure.
Like, do the ladies that are doing like the resin with the nails, do they wear masks when they're doing?
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
Like you don't technically have to, but it's definitely recommended because it's better for you not to be inhaling the dust that comes off of it.
Oh, thanks, Krista. Whenever you said I love it, I'm just
It was
popping over.
way earlier.
It was earlier on YouTube.
Okay. Now, at this point, I'm going to take my this little filer, and I'm going to try and like even this out a little bit more so it's not so gloppy. Definitely recommend sandpaper for this instead, but we're working with what we have.
No, Jean. She said she could just got her package and the top was open and nothing was in the package. That's terrible.
Oh no. Have a
Definitely,
package pirate?
well, sometimes they'll break open during, I wonder what kind it was. Was it a bubble mailer or was it a box? I've had that happen with packages before. They've come empty. Not usually from us, but other places. Make sure you email us with the details of what package that was so we can help you with the damaged package claim.
Just trying to get a little bit better of a shape here. Just trying to get it as
Kind of
smooth
giving
as
it like
possible.
a frosty look too.
Yeah, it will, but we're gonna go back over it in a second. So we just want a general, fairly smooth shape, but
Oh, is it your raku stuff?
I'm just gonna look around this really quickly, see if there's any spots I want to.
Jean, we can start a claim and get you stuff shipped out in the meantime.
So this is obviously not perfectly smooth. I just want it to be kind of, in general, a decent amount of smoothness for shape-wise. And you'll see what I do here in a second.
So if you wanted a here's the.
You don't want it to be frosty.
If you wanted a frosted glass look, you could kind of leave it in this stage, right? Just get it super smooth. I wouldn't recommend it. You would have to get it very, very smooth. Yeah, because I'm going to go in and Someone was saying that they really liked the look of it, but.
Yeah, you would have to get it very smooth. You definitely could do that, and it would look very much like frosted glass, but you'd probably want like the nail tool to get it smooth, or like really good sandpaper, really or if you had a mold, that wouldn't be that difficult to do that with. But I'm just gonna go through and I am going to get this around on all of my sides. And then I'm going to take a...
So would you spin that while you're curing it to keep it from like...
So because I'm making it into such a thin layer, it's less likely to do that as
So you could kind of brush it over the top and then clean your brush with...
Yeah, you could do that. I just roll it and then I just spread it with my head pin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Robin. Well, she does have a lot of patience, Candy. I think that if you were making this as like, hey, this is you think of it as your master too, you can afford to spend more time making it. So if you made a mold out of this and then you just glued them into your caps, then you can justify taking the time to really making it perfect because then all of your other pieces that you mold are just going to be based on it. We were just talking about how artists that do really intricate work have to have patrons or commissions in order to afford to be able to do that. And even back in the day, don't drop it.
Don't recommend doing that. I think this happened last time I did this too. But it's okay, I already cured it a decent amount that it didn't get that really ruin it, so.
I like your skirt, by the way. It's super cute.
You bought it for me, like, how many years ago? Probably 7 years ago.
How many years ago?
No, probably more. Probably like 8 years ago. No. Wait, how old am I? 24? 24. Yeah, probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Candy says, for sure, cool beans and awesome sauce. Yeah, so if you were going to use a real acorn to create your mold from, to do this,
awesome.
Just bring the bead cap with you so that you could match it up, because you probably would have to pick up a lot of acorns to find exactly the one, just the right size to fit inside the acorn bead cap. But I've seen a lot of acorn pendants where they use just like a regular shaped bead, and then they do the acorn bead cap on the top, which is cute, but I really love the one that's shaped like this one that you've done. So last week I was like, let's keep, like, I really want you to keep it light on your technique, like prep, because Ainsley had a heavy week with filming the other class. And so of course she busts out like this amazing project for you guys
recommended
anyway.
an acorn thing, and I didn't have an acorn bead, so
she made one. Let's just say she will never compromise on quality. It's against her principles.
yeah.
That's awesome, Robin. So if you had a bumper crop of acorns last year, maybe you'll find the exact size one and you could make a mold out of it. So Jean says, I swear, is the Mercury in retrograde. What does that mean?
It's a astrology thing.
Well, I know, but I'm wondering what that's in reference to. I know it means something. I'm just not sure exactly what. Lovely technique you got there. And we can actually see you doing it, which is kind of fun with this new view.
Just did another layer really quickly because I dropped it on the ground. So.
So if that happens, you guys know what to do. Jeopardy music as we wait.
Okay. We're getting there.
Whenever things and communications go wrong, well then Mercury must always go in retrograde for me. I always am like dropping something or. It's nice to have a reason for it though. There's one in front of you.
That one has resin on it.
Oh, snap. Guess you better use the other one then.
Yeah. I'm gonna go in with my brush that I forgot to put in the water, but it's okay. I didn't. Can you give me a smaller one?
Yeah. Is that a good size?
Yeah. It's fantastic. We're just gonna go in with our metallic copper. I can put this. And we're going to stroke this right on there.
Oh, interesting, Jean. I love, so, I really like the super accurate zodiac readings too, because like I haven't met a person that doesn't sound just like it, which I think is crazy. It's like too much of a coincidence, right? There must be something to it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's so general, but I'm like, no. Like I would not seem like a Gemini. Nobody would think that I was a Gemini either.
Goodness, Jean. I'm so sorry. Sometimes it's like 3 things. Like they say sometimes bad things come in 3, so maybe you're done. Maybe this missing package is the last of the 3 bad things that are going to happen. So when Xavier had his bad accident on Saturday, and then we came home from the emergency room and it wasn't this Saturday, it was the week before. We came home from the ER and my husband comes in from around the house and he's like, half of the willow tree is in the pond. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? was really just a very, very large limb. It wasn't like 50% of it, but it seemed like a third of it. And I was just like, really? Why today? Why after this craziness would that happen today? But it did seem like a lot less of a thing. So sometimes when you've experienced enough like wild and crazy things in your life, like things that would seem really big and crazy to deal with, you're like, put it on my tab. They already came and cleaned it up though. So that's taken care of. That happened this weekend. My husband had to like help the tree guy lift it out of the pond, and it was like a whole tree size limb.
And it didn't look like it was that big in the water.
Right.
Like it still looked like a big limb, but
Yeah.
when you get it out of the water and onto the land, it was massive. It was like a whole yard.
Yeah.
Portion of that yard.
It was all filled with parts of it.
So just going in with some good layers of this metallic copper. Just keep gutting that. Can't really see that well. Sorry, guys.
At least I see your other view.
And then I'm gonna go in with our brown. Just nice quick strokes. I kind of try and keep it stripey because it's kind of how they are. And to me, it doesn't have to be like your shape of it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because none of them are exactly the same. They get little dents and chips out of them as well. Then we do also go in with our olive green. So I'm gonna try to add a little bit more patchily, like it's like a not fully I wouldn't really say what ripe for a seed, but like that's the biggest like equivalent I can think of.
Like it's still
developing,
growing.
Yeah.
Like it's a growing acorn.
I'm just gonna go back in with some
I'm gonna have to take new pictures of those earrings today that look less like bacon. Intrusive thoughts in my brain, guys.
That's kind of funny. Go back in with the other colors. I just want to add a little bit more details to it.
So before they put the fillings in Xavier's teeth, and there were just the little stumps left there, he was like, oh, it just makes me want to just like pull them out. And he's like, I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm like, that's called an intrusive thought, honey. He's like, no, but it just really makes me want to do it. I'm like, yes, exactly. Like, you will feel better once they put the rest of the tooth back on.
Oh man,
Oh, here, give it to me and I will wipe it off with this Clorox wipe and get it clean. Because it has some solvents in it, so it doesn't ruin it.
Yep.
Oh no, except for I just ruined my jeans. I did it like on top of my leg, and the antique went through the rag. Here. Working on it. There you go. I kind of like leaving the most complicated one, labor-intensive technique, to the end. So people that are super interested can stick around to see the whole process, and then anybody else who has to go and do other things can just come back and rewatch it. Yeah, they've gotten most of the content. That's why I said we'll wait to do the Acorn one till last, because I figured that it was going to take the most time. Super cool project though.
Okay. Some of these bubbles a little bit. You get off of there. Fiber. Don't need you. And just to blend it a little more, I add a little bit of the brown, sienna brown, and the copper to the lid, or the cap, bead cap. And it just kind of ties the whole coloring together more. Wet still, so I'm just gonna dry it more. Tend to have like a better side and not as good side, so I just try and move my I'll just move it to face the best looking side, and that's gonna be the front. Now we have a cute little acorn. And the more spend time on your shaping, the better outcome you're gonna get. I didn't want to spend too long on here with you guys doing my shaping, so one of my sides is a lot better than the other side.
But they get the kind of the gist.
They get
of how
the gist
you can
of it,
make,
especially if you have better tools, then it's gonna look even better.
right. For like sandpaper, maybe for the
shaping.
for shaping it. Warehouse at vintage.com, Jean.
Not what house.
But yes, warehouse. WAREHOUSE at vintage.com. Terry says amazing, or Taryn says amazing.
And then at this point, all we would have to do is I can do a quick little segment here of our stuffs.
I think we're good. I don't think you need to. Unless you absolutely want to.
It's gonna take me 2 seconds to just show this really quickly.
Robin says it's still incredibly amazing. I love it, and I absolutely love what you've done with the finished jewelry on here. I think it's really unique.
So all you do is slide that onto your wire, and it will be like so. And then I will show you kind of like the beads that I had on here. These are beads that you might have if you bought from our Lima Beads collab. This is a citrine. I believe it's 8 millimeters.
There's a ruler there. We could probably link those up later too.
Maybe it's either 8 or 10 millimeters. It's kind of hard to tell on a bead that's
So you use
here.
the other Lima beads for those?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have here. I just have the Acorn bead that we just made. Obviously this is like my initial version. Then I have 2 Swarovski crystals. These are just old for my mom's like old stash. And then I have the citrine beads. I have the coils that we made and painted. These are just the faceted blue beads that I painted. And then I have our B, another one of those faceted, tinier, smaller Swarovski crystals from my mom's stash. Then the citrine, then one we made, then this little one we faceted, one we painted. This is just a leaf that we painted, that's a bead. Same thing, another one of the faceted, another one of the crystal, and then a bunch of seed beads.
So we will publish some good pictures of these after the live, as we always do, so you guys can use them for references for creating your own stuff. I think you should show like how it sits on, because this is, I think that a lot of times we don't do projects with like rigid wire for necklaces.
Oh, also, for this bead, all I did was use Loctite glue and glue them together. So I just put Loctite on the rims of each and pressed them together, held them together for a couple seconds to let it set. And this is more of, so there's that, and this is more of that citrine one we painted. We made this earlier. These are our clippings in here, that bunny rabbit. This is a bead from my mom's. I don't know what it is. Do you know what it is?
What?
This.
That? No. Was it just in one of my random things?
It's in your bin.
It almost looks like a citrine.
It does look like a citrine of some sort. It's a larger,
just a different
bead.
size.
This is
maybe one of our bead
this
fanatics
is about,
here, bead experts would know.
20 millimeters long, about 15, and then 20 by 15 by about 5. So that gives you a rough idea for scale there. A little squirrel bead caps that we put together, more of those little sprigs that we made off of that piece. So there's that bracelet, and you guys saw the earrings earlier as well.
So before we finish up, do you want to show them what like the necklace
Yeah,
looks
I was
like
gonna do
on-
that. I just
yeah.
wanted to finish doing the overview on camera.
Perfect.
If you want to adjust that big camera. All right, let's do earrings here very quickly.
Ouchie.
Do you want to zoom in on that?
Nice.
There's that one. You can zoom out again.
Mm-hmm.
Then our bacon earrings. Can zoom in on that.
Yep.
Okay, you can zoom out again. Okay.
Ooh, that actually looks so gorgeous with your top. Love it.
And that just sits nicely.
And then
we
I think
also
just your
have
bracelet is the last
our
one.
bracelet here as well. Give me a second here to get it on. It's a little... Man. Almost there. I just keep dropping my clasp.
Would you like some help?
No, I got it. Oh, wait. It's like this.
There you go. Love it. Like a bangle feeling. All right, well, I think we're ready to finish up.
And I will just do really quick like this for everybody. Quick little roll.
Thanks, Candy. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
All right, so glad for you guys to join us today. Super happy that you were able to look and learn these new techniques with me, and I hope you guys do these. I hope to see these in our DIY with Vintage. Definitely add and post there as well, and we will you guys will see everybody else on Wednesday and Friday, so make sure you don't forget about going to there. Thank you so much, guys.